Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Aaron LeBeau. I'm a Senior Manager of Business Development at Dextara Digital. And welcome to our webinar today, Optimizing Sales and Operational Efficiency, a deep dive into effective CPQ, configure price quote usage for streamlined operation. During the webinar today, we do ask you that it looks like everyone's muted. We do ask you to just stay on mute just to limit any background noise. But please, we want to make this interactive. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead, raise your hand, or go ahead and pop that question into the chat, and we will get to your question. Also, we will spend some time at the end for some Q&A if you'd like to save your question for the end. Also, we are recording this webinar, and we will be sending the link out to the recording after this session so you can go back and review it. Um, so that is all I have to say. I will now introduce and welcome Dextara's CEO, Sreekanth Lapala, who is going to demonstrate the Dextara CPQ and discuss how to optimize your sales and efficiency in 2024. So over to you, Sreekanth.
Thanks, Aaron. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the quick introduction. So thanks for all the people who are on this bridge. Thanks for taking time out to attend this session, and hope this will give you some insights into how to use CPQ, as well as what are the general challenges that are there with choosing the CPQ product as well as implementing, and how can we kind of help Dextara can help with its product offering or with its consulting support, how it can help you get the CPQ roadmap right. So with that, without much ado, I would like to share my screen. Yeah. Hope you can see my screen, Aaron. You
Yes, yes,
confirm?
we can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So what we'll do today is that I'll spend some time, a few minutes to quickly introduce Dextara. Then from there, we will specifically talk about some of the challenges that CPQ implementations and CPQ products that are out there in the market have with respect to mid-size and commercial customers. And then what we'll do is that we will kind of go a deep dive into Dextara CPQ. More of this, I think, large part of the time that we have on this webinar, we will use for demoing and taking you live through the system. But to just ensure that we set up the context correctly, we're using few slides. So we'll kind of spend first 10 minutes on the slides and then straight jump into the application. So with that, who is Dextara? Dextara has been, in the Salesforce consulting space for several years now. We are a Salesforce Summit, which is in the olden days, it was called Platinum Partnership. So this is kind of the highest level of consulting partnership that we have. We also are an ISV partner, and that's why we have few of our products listed on App Exchange, which is Salesforce's app marketplace. So we do have a very strong leadership team and a consulting team, both in US as well as in India. We work with some of the great global brands which have the high brand recall, and we do have in-depth and end-to-end understanding between all the way from Salesforce consulting, implementation, Salesforce product development, and things like that. We've been working across multiple verticals, industry verticals, pretty much. We work with across different verticals, but to name a few where we have significant concentration of our customers, it's manufacturing, healthcare, professional services, high tech, and BFSI. We do have at this point in time 50 plus active customers that we're working both for CPQ as well as regular Salesforce consulting. And we definitely have done a lot of projects which have given us a great client scorecard, which is averaging of 4.8 on a scale of 5. And we do have a total of 150 consultants globally split between US and India. So that's a quick introduction about who we are. From there, these are some of our clients, as many of you can, relate to it. Scott's Miracle Grow is one of the customers in US, in the manufacturing space. We work with them, where we work on manufacturing cloud, we work on CPQ, we work on MuleSoft. Similarly, we work with Robro Industries, another mid-tier, manufacturing company. We work with a real estate giant, which is CBRE, and then there are some healthcare clients like that you can see, like Patients Like Me and MedSleuth. So these are some of the clients that we have. This is just a representative set of clients that we have, but we kind of are actively working with 50 plus clients at this point in time. Jumping straight, today I know the focus would be on CPQ, and we will also deep dive into Dextara CPQ. But just to lay the foundation, Dextara comes with a whole ecosystem experience of Salesforce, right from working on the Lightning platform with Heroku, Einstein, to the marketing stack, which is Salesforce Pardot and Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and then the sales stack of Sales Cloud, with implementations of Salesforce CPQ, Velocity CPQ. We do have our own product, which is Dextara CPQ, which we're going to talk about in detail, and then the Service Cloud stack or the customer service stack, which is Service Cloud, Field Lightning. And we do have a deep expertise on building Salesforce products or ISV products on Salesforce platform and listing them on App Exchange. It's not only comes from the experience of we building our own products, but we've been helping some of our customers build their products and put it on App Exchange. So there's a great expertise there. And then we do have a lot of experience on the integration platforms like MuleSoft, Dell Boomi, um, and then the community cloud and Tableau and stuff like that. So that's the whole gamut of soup to nuts in terms of our experience. But we will today restrict our focus and time and energy towards deep diving onto the CPQ topic. Moving on. So there are several products, as we know, which actually does the same thing, right? Configure, price, quote. We do have Salesforce CPQ. We have, Conga CPQ, which was Aptus in the past. It's kind of was acquired by Conga. You have CloudSense. You have many other CPQ products out there. Velocity has its own CPQ version, though that's again acquired by Salesforce. Having said that, why was there a need of designing and developing yet another product and positioning that to the market and the customers, which is we call as Dextara CPQ. The reason is it's not simple, it's not one dimensional, but it's a multi-dimensional, because we've been implementing CPQ for our customers. As we all know, CPQ implementations are quite expensive, and they actually eat a lot of the companies or the customers' resources in terms of consuming their bandwidth in terms of getting your CPQ implementation right. So so to ensure that we kind of increase the track record, improve the track record in terms of having successful CPQ implementations, we kind of started to jot down the challenges that any CPQ implementation has, right? And then what are the emerging needs of our customers with respect to implementing CPQ, why they're implementing CPQ versus what are the current products that are there in the market offering, right? So the big difference that we have seen is most of the customers' requirements that are emerging are more moving towards attribute product and attribute as opposed to a SKU based product structuring. I'll I'll explain what a product SKU based structure versus product is a attribute based structure for a product. A SKU based structure is let's assume that you're kind of trying to sell iPhones, right? So you can have iPhone 10, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15. On your catalog, so that everyone comes and kind of purchases that. But imagine there are customers who are coming with the requirement saying that, hey, I only want one SKU which is for iPhone. I can have different other SKUs like what charger, battery pack, and all of the other things, but for iPhone I only want one SKU there in my product master. Whereas is it a model 11 or a model 12 or a model 13? Do I need a storage of 256, 64, 128? Do I need a black color or blue color? All of those things should be configurable as attributes, but I don't want them to be kind of proliferating my SKU or my product master. So can we not do that with some of the existing CPQ products that are out there in the market? Yes, you can do it, but it's the product architecture or the product the CPQ as a product. When I was saying is not designed for that. It's not architected for handling product with a lot of attributes. Essentially, if you take Salesforce CPQ, you can configure a product with attributes. But if you want a pricing dimension to come, where when a user is changing the attributes, you want the pricing to be dynamically changed. That's quite difficult, or you need to do a lot of customization if you want to get that functionality up and running on Salesforce CPQ or Aptus or any of the existing CPQs, because they're structured to be more SKU based CPQ products and not attribute based CPQ products. So that's one of the primary reason we felt that there's a need in the market, especially for small and medium customers, to leverage Dextara's PPQ, go live very quickly. We sometimes promise if there's a lot of specific requirements that customers bring and they're kind of happy with all the feature set that the product offers, then we can go live in less than 2 to 3 weeks time frame. So that's the kind of speed with which you can implement it. The reason why you can implement it is that not only that Dextara CPQ was architected as an attribute based CPQ, but it also was designed in such a way that a the entire data setup should be a product manager or a product configurator should be able to set up the data with respect to products pricing and all of that. You don't need a technical person on the Salesforce platform doing that. Second thing is that you need to have your product modeling structures very intuitive and simple, so that people focusing more on how do they configure their products and sell their products, as opposed to kind of learning the product or learning how to use the Salesforce CPQ or the any CPQ that they've implemented on the Salesforce instance. And the third thing is that every customer will have some customization. So we have implemented the entire, excuse me, Dextara CPQ on Lightning Web Components framework. So it's kind of easily customizable. Any specific customizations that our customers ask, you can easily customize, and you don't need Dextara for that. You can pick any Salesforce partner to help you customize that. And definitely Dextara CPQ support team would be there to help, any customizations. So that's been the vision. The primary, if I were to just summarize, how do you get a purpose fit CPQ product that can actually go with the current generation of selling, right? So that's like product and attribute. Second is can you get your implementation, very fast. That's the second one. And third one is that how can the product be very intuitive, so that the product manager is working on the products and the sales team are configuring the products and generating the quotes and selling the products, right? So those are the first principles as to why Dextara CPQ took birth. It's very simple. If we were to understand the product model, it's very, very simple because CPQ is a fairly complex product, but we have simplified that, so that everyone who's kind of either implementing or either giving the requirements, they understand, what the product is capable of, right? So the product model for CPQ is very simple. Have catalogs, right? You can configure the catalog. That means that you can assign your products or club your products into categories and subcategories. That's catalog for you. Then you have products. We've been talking about product, any product which is an a unit that you want to sell to your customers, that's a product. Every time you add a product, you want to add pricing to that product, so that's pricing comes next. Then comes the relationships, where you want to sometimes bundle the products. You want to sell one product with another product. So that all that kind of bundling relationships is supported by Dextara CPQ. You can also have bill of materials associated. Again, Salesforce CPQ does not support bill of materials, but in the manufacturing and some of the domains, we often hear from the customers saying that, hey, we want support for bill of materials. If the salesperson is configuring the product in the cart, we want a bill of material to be generated dynamically, so that when the order is placed, we can send the bill of materials back to the downstream to the ERP systems. So that's important. So that functionality is there. And then, you talk about attributes, the example that I've given. We'll see in detail during the demo, but, product can have attributes. Product can be associated with many attributes or one or many attributes. And all of